The city lights blurred into streaks of gold and ruby as Alex's luxury car glided effortlessly through the evening traffic. From the outside, Alex's life was a meticulously crafted masterpiece, a corner office overlooking a bustling metropolis, a portfolio that swelled with every passing quarter, and a penthouse apartment that whispered sophistication. Friends envied the effortless success, family lauded the unwavering ambition, and acquaintances regarded Alex with a mixture of awe and aspiration. Yet, within the polished facade, a persistent, gnawing emptiness had begun to take root, a silent discord in an otherwise perfect symphony. It was a sensation Alex couldn't quite name, a subtle hum of dissatisfaction that defied all logic, considering the abundant prosperity. This was the first subtle nudge, an unexplained discontent that lingered despite every outward achievement. The void was a quiet rebellion against the assumed completeness of a life built on material gain, a whisper that perhaps something profound was missing. Alex, ever the pragmatist, initially dismissed these feelings as mere fatigue, the inevitable byproduct of relentless ambition, a new project, a more challenging acquisition, a longer vacation. Surely one of these would banish the fleeting shadows. But the shadows remained, stubbornly clinging to the edges of consciousness. Then came the recurring thoughts, the second sign. Questions about purpose, about meaning beyond market shares and profit margins, began to surface repeatedly, unbidden and often unwelcome. Why this relentless pursuit? What was the ultimate goal? These weren't the usual existential musings. They felt pointed, almost like gentle interrogations from an unseen source. Alex would find these thoughts intruding during quiet moments, while jogging through the park or staring out at the city skyline. Moments when the usual mental chatter ceased. And then, the synchronicities started, initially dismissed as mere coincidence. A phrase overheard in a coffee shop, perfectly answering an unspoken question in Alex's mind. A book falling open to a page whose text seemed to mirror Alex's deepest anxieties. An unexpected encounter with an old mentor who, without prompt, began speaking about the very spiritual dilemmas Alex had been privately grappling with. Each instance was a tiny, perfectly timed puzzle piece, yet Alex, rooted in a world of logic and data, attributed them to chance, a trick of the mind. The idea of signs felt antiquated, almost superstitious, and Alex had always prided themselves on a rational, scientific worldview. Friends and family, when Alex dared to hint at these odd occurrences, offered conventional advice. You're just stressed. You maybe take up a hobby. It's a phase. Their well-meaning but superficial suggestions only deepened Alex's sense of growing isolation. Surrounded by people, Alex felt profoundly alone in this burgeoning internal conflict. The carefully constructed illusion of control began to fray at the edges. A minor setback at work, a project hitting an unexpected snag that threatened a major deal, shook Alex's composure more than it should have. It wasn't the financial loss, it was the sheer unpredictability, the sudden reminder of forces beyond Alex's meticulously planned existence. The superficial comfort provided by wealth and status felt suddenly fragile, exposed. That night, sleep offered no escape. Alex was plunged into a vivid dream, a landscape of shifting sands and a distant, beckoning light. A voice, clear and resonant, spoke a single, profound word, though its meaning eluded Alex upon waking. The feeling, however, was undeniable. Something significant was shifting, a profound alteration in the fabric of Alex's reality. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The dream left an indelible mark, a potent blend of unease and a strange, unfamiliar anticipation, hinting at a journey far beyond the familiar confines of Alex's material world. The unsettling dream, with its resonant, solitary word and the distant beckoning light, left Alex grappling with a new kind of awareness. The usual morning routine felt disjointed, the familiar comforts of the penthouse now imbued with a strange quietude. It was in this newfound stillness, during moments of quiet reflection, that the fourth sign manifested, an unmistakable peace, a profound sense of presence. It wasn't merely the absence of anxiety, It was an enveloping calm that settled over Alex, often unexpectedly, while gazing out at the city or simply sitting in silence. This peace was unlike anything Alex had ever experienced through meditation apps or forced relaxation techniques. It felt external, yet intimately personal, a comforting warmth that whispered of belonging and understanding. This feeling was so potent, so utterly alien to Alex's previously restless spirit, that it couldn't be easily dismissed as imagination. It was real, a palpable and soothing presence. This deepening connection soon found echoes in the external world, bringing the fifth sign, guidance through others. One rainy afternoon, seeking refuge in a small, unassuming bookstore, Alex found themselves drawn to an elderly woman meticulously arranging a shelf of ancient texts. Their eyes met, and without a word, the woman simply offered, "Sometimes the answers we seek are not found in the noise, but in the quiet spaces between." The simplicity and directness of her statement struck Alex with the force of a revelation, perfectly articulating the internal shift that had been occurring. Later that week, a casual conversation with a long-estranged college friend, whom Alex had run into by chance, took an unexpected turn. The friend, now a volunteer at a local community center, spoke passionately about the fulfillment found in selfless service, sharing anecdotes that resonated deeply with Alex's burgeoning sense of purpose. These weren't preachy sermons, they were gentle nudges, unexpected insights delivered with a quiet wisdom that felt tailor-made for Alex's journey. Soon after, the sixth sign emerged, a distinct call to action. An inexplicable urge to help, to connect, to contribute began to surface. It started small, with an anonymous donation to a cause Alex had previously ignored, then escalated to volunteering time at a local shelter, an act completely out of character for the driven executive. Alex found a joy in these acts of kindness that far surpassed any satisfaction derived from closing a major deal. A long-forgotten passion for painting, dormant since college, also resurfaced, demanding attention. The canvas became a new outlet for the swirling emotions and insights, a tangible expression of the unseen whispers. However, these new inclinations did not go unnoticed by Alex's established social circle. Friends, accustomed to Alex's singular focus on career and material gain, reacted with a mixture of skepticism and thinly veiled ridicule. "What? Are you having a midlife crisis?" one quipped during a dinner party. "Don't tell me you're getting spiritual now," another scoffed, rolling their eyes. This external pressure, coupled with Alex's own internal struggle, created a difficult period. Was this real, Alex wondered, or was it merely a temporary aberration, a flight of fancy? The temptation to retreat to the old, comfortable ways, to dismiss these feelings as transient emotionalism, was strong. Then came a moment of profound betrayal, a painful test of Alex's resolve. A trusted colleague, someone Alex had mentored and confided in, subtly undermined a crucial project, twisting Alex's newfound priorities into a narrative of distraction and unreliability. The professional fallout was significant, but the personal sting of disloyalty was far deeper. This betrayal, rather than crushing Alex, served as a crucible. It stripped away the last vestiges of superficial attachment to a world built on fleeting allegiances and cutthroat ambition. It forced Alex to confront the true value of the path being explored, solidifying a quiet determination to continue. In the aftermath of this painful revelation, during a solitary walk through a quiet park, the seventh sign manifested with overwhelming clarity, a profound, personal encounter. The world seemed to fade, replaced by an intense, luminous presence that enveloped Alex entirely. There was no visual form, no audible voice, yet the communication was undeniable, a torrent of understanding and unconditional love that bypassed all rational thought. It was a clear inner knowing, a profound recognition of the divine connection that had been subtly guiding Alex all along. The resonant word from the dream echoed in this moment, its meaning now crystal clear. This encounter provided absolute clarity, reinforcing every message, every synchronicity, every quiet piece. Alex realized with a startling jolt the true, immense cost of ignoring these messages for so long. The path ahead, though daunting and uncertain in its practicalities, was now undeniably clear, illuminated by an inner light that promised a purpose far grander than any earthly achievement. The path ahead, illuminated by an inner light, demanded a conscious decision. Alex, standing at the precipice of a completely new existence, chose to fully embrace the guidance received. This was not a passive acceptance, but an active commitment, requiring difficult choices and the courageous letting go of old attachments. The opulent penthouse, once a symbol of success, now felt like a gilded cage. The high-powered career, a source of pride, now seemed hollow. Alex began the arduous process of dismantling a life meticulously constructed around societal expectations, taking the initial tentative steps towards living in alignment with this newfound purpose, however uncertain the landscape ahead appeared. This embrace brought with it the inevitable confrontation of past choices. Alex faced the fallout, not with regret, but with a quiet resolve to seek forgiveness and make amends. The first step was to acknowledge the subtle ways ambition had sometimes overshadowed empathy, especially in professional relationships. A frank conversation with the colleague who had betrayed trust, not to accuse, but to understand and offer a genuine apology for any unwitting contribution to their resentment, was excruciating. It required immense humility, a quality Alex had rarely cultivated. The journey involved personal sacrifice. The lavish lifestyle was pared down, the relentless pursuit of material gain replaced by a deliberate cultivation of inner wealth. Overcoming deep-seated fears, fear of judgment, fear of financial insecurity, fear of the unknown, became a daily battle, each small victory reinforcing the conviction that this was the righteous path. There was a moment of profound redemption when Alex anonymously settled a significant debt for a former employee who had been unfairly dismissed years ago, a wrong committed in the earlier, more ruthless phase of Alex's career. The act brought a quiet release, a mending of a long festering wound within Alex's own conscience. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, Alex's life began to transform. This was not a superficial change, but a profound shift in inner peace and purpose. The external circumstances might not have become outwardly simpler overnight, but Alex's relationship with them changed entirely. The stress of demanding deadlines still existed, but it no longer consumed Alex's spirit. Challenges were met with a newfound resilience, setbacks viewed as opportunities for growth rather than personal failures. This inner transformation radiated outwards, subtly impacting others. Alex's colleagues noticed a calm strength, a wisdom that transcended mere business acumen. Friends, initially skeptical, found themselves drawn to Alex's quiet contentment, seeking advice not on financial investments, but on navigating life's deeper currents. Alex became a source of inspiration, not through grand pronouncements, but through consistent, authentic living. Even the betrayer, having witnessed Alex's unwavering integrity and peace in the face of adversity, began a slow, painful process of introspection, reflecting on their own choices and the true cost of their actions. Deep fulfillment and a profound sense of belonging. Once elusive dreams now permeated Alex's existence. The ignored messages, the unexplained discontent, the recurring thoughts, the synchronicity, the pervasive peace, the guidance from others, the call to action, and finally, the profound personal encounter, were no longer fragmented incidents, but understood as a continuous, loving guidance, a divine hand gently steering Alex towards a destiny far richer than any material success could offer. Alex's journey stands as a testament, a powerful reminder that the universe constantly sends us subtle signs, whispers of a deeper truth. It urges us to quiet the external noise, to listen to the gentle nudges, and to bravely embrace the path that unfolds when we dare to heed the unseen whispers within our own lives.